I'll see you back in 2 minutes. Hello again. Hello to the Chaos Guards as well. How's everyone doing today?
Mark.
Doing well?
Pretty good.
How's magic? How's Tilly? Important questions need to be asked.
Tilly is doing well, propagating some new leaves.
Aww.
Is a little sleepy.
Is he still hungover? I think the word you're looking for is hungover.
Oh, look, he's a big fish. He's got a con score of 10. I think he can take it.
And I hope everyone in chat is good as well. And hi, everyone watching us on YouTube today. We're back together, our 4 lovely guards and me, Lydia. Hi. We've got Dorcas over there, who is Anna in real life, unless that has changed recently. We've got William, who's played by Jesse. Is there any kitty crawling at the shoulder?
They are actually napping in a little bundle, and I could go destroy their little worlds, but that feels harsh and unnecessary.
No, leave them there. They'll wake up soon enough. They're kittens, but we're always here for the cat cam. And Nat, how's you? More importantly,
Mark. Mark is stressed as usual, but Nat's pretty good.
Good. Awesome meat grinder today last week, by the way. That was the man who killed us so quickly and who killed me so quickly. And of course, I'm not looking for vengeance or anything today. He's fine. Definitely.
Many disintegrations.
And Tom and Duncan. Well, Tom, most importantly, real life person. And how are you both?
I'm doing well. Duncan's also doing well. And I'm thrilled to hear that someone's taking the crosshairs off Duncan for a little bit. Like let's get him over there.
I mean,
okay.
Chat was being nice to you anyway. You got the guard of the week, guard of the day, really. Boon from last.
I mean, Duncan is a kiss up, so that makes total sense.
Which will be handed out today, so your boon will not go forgotten. I'm just going to make it a narrative thing. And I think before we're going into the game, I want to say 2 more quick things, and then we're going to get started, because I'm not sure you know that you can get a couple of goodies with Encounter Roleplay. If you like those cute little wormwood boxes, for example, those that are everywhere at the moment, and those that I'm so close to actually just impulse buying, then use our code for a discount on shipping. Of course, we also have World Anvil as our partners here, which are an amazing platform for everyone who wants to world build, writers as well as GMs, or if you're just that person who builds worlds in their free time. We're not judging here, because we're all that person in a way. Then you might want to check it out, and you also get a little bit of a discount on your subscriptions with Encounter Roleplay. We also have our friends at Fantasy Grounds, of course, and a couple of other partners that Charlie is going to tell you about just now, and then we'll see you back in a second.
Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds are virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com.
And we're back with big crits, I'm being told. Thank you very much, Kitchen, for that donation to help our guards brave the graveyard. That was not intentional rhyme, but hey, here we are to get back out in one piece and continue their little investigation into the seedy underbelly of Eden's necromantic trade. Yes, because last we saw our intrepid guards, they made their way to the graveyard. They fought their way through, they befriended their way through as well, in the search for clues and important witnesses in a very serious case of black market necromantic artifacts. They instead found, well, almost death. Almost, but they got better. And after a tense battle with one of the lost creatures of the Shadowfell, they eventually made it into a mausoleum. But at this point, they're tired and a little bit worn out, and it's almost too tired and too worn out to really give it much thought, the potentially dangerous situation of those, resting in peace in that very mausoleum. So they agree on a long rest to regain their strength. Always staying vigilant, of course, so they are setting guard duties, and those guard duties are, of course, a perfect opportunity to get some paperwork done while they all keep a watch for an hour. One of the most trustworthiest, most steadfastest, of course, being our cleric Duncan, who's licking his quill and thinking about what he should tell Guard Captain Tallulah Thundertongue.
Captain, I am able to report progress on our case. Unfortunately, one of the students, who is a person of interest, has turned up dead. We've done our due diligence following leads, and the evidence points back to the graveyard. We highly suspect a necromantic activity. Upon our arrival, it appears there was additional suspicious activity already underway, with reports of a pair that went into the graveyard and left the prescribed path. We are currently in pursuit, and it was in that pursuit that we discovered the body of one of these students. We are currently sheltering in place in a mausoleum, and will report back in full when we conclude our mission. As a side note, William is behaving and has proven quite a gentle hand with Mork. Mork himself is quite talented. I feel with the proper care, he could be fostered into a considerable asset for the Guard. Dorcas has shown an amazing rapport with the population of the city. In addition to being a powerful warrior, I feel there's great potential in this group.
Dear Tallulah, I am writing this from inside the mausoleum of Brienne Williams and Shoshana Onmit, which is decidedly deeper within the graveyard than I think our guard training covered. We are getting really good at working as a team, however. Duncan has already saved William's life once, and we've managed to keep the pets alive, which I think counts for something. By the way, did you send guards to the graveyard to look for a missing person? Because that's why the Greyfriars think we're here. Don't worry, we'll still do our best to solve the case of the body snatchers, though I'm afraid our paper trail is really more like a single sheet of paper trail. P.S. There's a wonderful dwarven lady named Muriel who runs a stationer's shop in Southbridge. She sells the most magnificent stamps, which I think would be an asset to our paperwork duties. She is expecting a rather large order coming in from the Guard any day now. I'm sorry, but it was all in the cause of finding evidence.
Oh, muted.
There we go. To the truly terrific Tallulah Thundertongue. That's a hell of an alliteration, you know that? do lots of people start their reports to you that way? For your sake, I hope so, because you just do not get to see that kind of wordplay on an everyday basis. You know what I'm saying? You should start insisting on it. I know I would. Anyway, we found a dead kid. Not like a kid, like an adult. Well, he was in college, so somewhat an adult, but not all that much. Actually, you know what? Let's just bury this whole adult, not adult thing and call him a corpse. So we found a corpse. Rimple something, necromancer. Obviously, that means that despite being dead, he's still a major suspect, in my opinion, because necromancy. Ugh, makes my skin crawl. Let's see, what other kind of guard stuff do you need to know? I met a dead kid, not a corpse, and that feels noteworthy, I think. I don't know, you tell me, I guess. Cheers, William. P.S. Don't tell Mark that stuff I said about necromancy.
Mark report. Tallulah. No, that's stupid. That's stupid. All right, Magic. We can do this. We barely survived yesterday. Those horrible monsters, we almost died, but we did it. We survived. Now all I have to do is barely survive tomorrow. And the next day. And the next day. Forever. And that's all I have to do. Just keep on barely not dying. It'll be great. All right. We can do this. We can do this. Okay. Tallulah. Mork report. After extensive search, we find ourselves cowering, sheltering in the tomb of Brian Williams and Shoshana Amput after fighting some horrifying creatures. It's just...
Well, Tallulah is going to have a lot of fun with those reports. And by a lot of fun, I mean she's going to have a lot of whiskey. But that's her problem, really. Because as the night passes and the reports are being written, some dotted with little hearts, others dotted with little splashes of fish water that is also half whiskey at this point, you all feel that while there is no morning light as such that permeates the very, very murky shadows of Greyfire's graveyard, you do get a sensation still that there is a fresh dawn breaking. There's that nice, fresh, humid wetness in the air lingering, and you just feel a little bit more positive, a little bit more optimistic about the day. That being said, you are waking up in a mausoleum next to two very large sarcophagi and a corpse, a stabbed corpse of a student that is getting a little bit smelly. Still, now that you are cracking your bones, that you're back up, that you managed to look around, you're starting to take in the interior of this mausoleum. You see the two sarcophagi made from black marble. Very simple, with not many decorations or swirls. There's just these two stone-hewn hands that seem to reach out from the sarcophagus, and they both clasp a bouquet of roses, held by very delicate hands with a carved wedding ring on the finger of each left hand. There's dust, dirt, debris, as well as woodbine and ivy covering parts of the interior when they crept through some of the slitted windows. And there are these two large statues at the head of each sarcophagus. Both seem ethereal and androgynous, dressed in robes, standing upright with their heads lowered in respect towards whoever rests there. And one is holding a silver box. Just from looking at it, you can see it's simple, with a couple of etched-in music notes, silver songbird at the top, and it seems completely untouched by dirt and dust. That is weird, and you would know, especially with the detect magic spell from when you entered the mausoleum, there's something magical about it. But Duncan, When you look at the second statue, you notice that this one's holding an amulet, and there's a deep pain that grips your heart. There is suffering, not within you, but within a power that you are very familiar with. Power that you draw from, actually. Your strength, your faith. A power that's looked at you when you were a dirty, grubby little urchin, really, robbing people for trinkets and gold and hiding behind excuses of a greater good while trying to ignore the growing darkness within you. That power gave you a little push, just that little push you needed to defeat that very darkness. You feel the warmth of Belenus embracing you, and then retreating very, very quickly, almost as if scared of this place. And that small pulse that stays behind like a heartbeat, it's coming from that amulet that the statue is holding. It's a cleric symbol. It is similar to yours, the 4 circling wings in brass, copper, gold, and silver, but much older.
Duncan's gonna walk towards it and just kind of like looking around and I promised you quite a few things. I don't think I was ever as specific as I was done waking up in rooms with dead bodies, but I was hoping days like this were behind me. He just kind of looks down at his symbol and takes it off the chain around his neck and hangs it on one of the hands holding the roses, and picks up the amulet to examine it.
You see that there's a light within the amulet as you hold it up and look closely, and you can feel that there's a light in there that is almost calling out to you for help. Like a mote of Belenus trapped in this item that was... It's hard to tell for you. You don't quite know the history of this place. You didn't quite look at the name. Something about Brienne Williams, Shoshana on... It does ring a bell. But that amulet, it's almost... Well, if they were necromantic beings, did they trap the light of Belenus? Is that... You do get the sense that it wants your help. That it recognizes the light within you as something familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still that darkness in the corners, and holding the amulet as well, holding it back, holding the light back. A voice of contempt and a sense of sacrifice being necessary to free this light. If you want it freed, if it's so dear to you, so important to you, then I'm sure there's something you would give to have it freed, that voice whispers.
Is this like a voice from the darkness?
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to kind of like look about and turn to them and say, one of the key teachings of Belenus is that light drives away the dark. And I'm going to spend a channel divinity to cast Radiance of Dawn in the room and dispel all the darkness in the room.
Nice. You channel the divinity, you concentrate, you look at both amulets, and the darkness is looking at the amulets too, slightly scared. What is it gonna do? What is this gonna be? As the light bursts from within you. And he did warn you, so you're not gonna be blinded or anything, but you do have to look away. You do have to shield your eyes as that light illuminates everything. And there's almost like a hiss, like a snarl as the darkness retreats. And that amulet is gleaming, is glistening, pristine, just as it was when it was created. You can use this amulet as your new focus, as your new holy symbol, but there is a little bit of extra something with it, which, like I said, is the boon from last week's, I think the sub goal, that's what it was, or no, sorry, the week, of course, Guard of the Week contest, almost the poll at the end. That amulet, well, it can be used as a one-off revivify.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yep.
That's
Ah.
A
So I'm
Give
gonna-
that, William. That'll help you out.
Duncan's gonna put the amulet around his neck and just say, one small bit of repayment for my debt. And he's gonna turn back and just say, good morning, everybody. Sorry about that.
Morning.
Oh. Just like stretching on the cold, hard mausoleum floor. Gonna give Tilly a little bit of water to perk her up in the morning.
Tilly's stretching her little twigs and doing a little dance stretch, and then is quite happy to drink up the water. She shivers a little bit. You can tell she's a little bit cold still.
No.
Is William alive?
can-
Do we need to give him another high five?
It's probably
Well,
just
he was last time I checked.
Alive is subjective. I'm fine.
Did this help? Mork has been brewing some coffee in the corner.
Well, it smells good.
Where
and I'm
did
gonna
you-
try really hard not to ask what's in it.
Well, you get this powder, and all you have to do is heat up the water, and precipitation can heat things really hot. So, it's not the best thing ever, but when you're on the road and can't make a fire, it does the job pretty well.
I mean, yeah, okay, I buy it. Then I guess we'll try to take a drink of it. See if I die.
Probably does.
Roll me a no, never mind.
No. Make a wisdom save.
Oh, God.
Even better.
I mean, if you
Oh,
have
dear.
something in that coffee that you didn't tell the GM, I'm totally here for it. Disintegration
no,
rate.
it's-
Dude.
Just a little fish food. Just a little bit of fish food.
Duncan was gonna take one and then shake out a little of what you give magic, perhaps.
So
Oh yes, the fish food, which fish food is just a whiskey bottle with a different label.
It's more medicinal.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're going to
Medicinal
need a little
abilities,
bit of medicinal today.
you do still have the corpse in the corner, and
Yeah.
the rest of what I mentioned.
Yes, that's an excellent point. I think.
Is
So
anyone else a little bummed out about this? You know what? Give me 2 seconds, and then Will's gonna press digitation and then give the corpse some nicer clothes. That helped, right? Less
That's
I
depressing?
mean, are we gonna get in trouble for tampering with evidence?
no.
It's
I think
just an
actually.
illusion.
I think actually, if we were to investigate more thoroughly, as Duncan is taking incense out of his robe and starting to set it up about,
Mhm.
I believe we should
Ooh.
ask him what happened.
You gotta speak with Deb.
Yes. And then when you're done, I can make him go back to sleep.
I don't think that will be completely necessary, but if you want to, I feel like
Only if he starts to just go all rah, rah, like that stuff that we were fighting outside, you know what I mean?
Yeah, any of those noises are bad noises. So
Mm-hmm.
I vote for sleep patrol.
Only if we need it. I'll have it ready as a backup plan.
Duncan's
it's
gonna
like
light a few.
Plan 1.1, like immediately after Plan A, right?
1.1.0, yes.
Okay.
Sit down, begin saying a prayer to the Lightkeeper, and cast Speak with Dead.
You cast Speak with Dead in a place full of dead people.
I
Luckily,
can.
focus.
Yeah, I can.
Don't worry. But while you do feel several voices trying to reach out to you, trying to get your attention, there is for a moment a deafening hubbub of various consciences that's just trying to claw at your mind. Where am I? What is this? You eventually hear the very scared, very confused, groggy voice of a teenage kid. What? What is this?
Hello, son. My name is Shepherd Duncan.
Hello?
Hi. What were you, do you know where you are?
I was at the graveyard last, I remember.
What were you doing in the graveyard?
I was meeting a friend. Yes, a friend.
Do you remember the name of your friend?
I was meeting Master Darian. Supposed to meet him.
What did he want?
I don't quite know. He sent a letter. I was hoping to speak to him about my studies.
Had you worked with him before?
No. I've known him. I've met him before. He's a wonderful man. So confident, and I admire him very much.
Do you
Zero.
remember what happened when you entered the mausoleum?
It's 5 questions.
Oh! Shoot. Okay.
I will say I hate it when the DM does that to me, the whole, can you tell me? Yes, and that counts as a question. So
No,
I'll
that's
give
right.
you
I had the
I'll-
that's
I'll
my
give
own
you
fault.
one more, because the first one is, do you know where you are? I think that was more of a
Yeah.
conversation than anything. So but 5 questions, and that is the last one. Make it count.
Sorry, I got lost in it. Turn to the group.
I figured.
Just like
I
you
mean-
need to find out what happened.
I mean, we need to know what he was up to that got him murdered, right? That's something. You don't just murder people for no reason, usually.
yeah.
Normally, I would have said we could ask him if he knows where Darian is now, but I don't think he's gonna know.
And I hear
Does
that
not
guy's
seem-
useless, so.
Particularly clued in.
Maybe something about why this guy would have wanted to harm him.
Is like something like, is there any
Ooh.
reason that someone would want you dead?
Yeah, that's a good one. Or who would want you? Can you think of anyone that would want you dead?
Mm-hmm.
Or do we maybe just want to find out what he was working on and work backwards? You know what? No, that's work. I like your plan better.
I like why someone would want him dead more than who might want him dead, because invariably it's not the obvious person.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's good thinking.
Okay. Turn back to him and say, son,
Yes.
do you know why someone would have wanted to kill you?
No.
Any reason to
I-
harm you?
No, I was waiting for Darian. She told me to wait for Darian, and pain and cold, and And then nothing. I don't know why. And you feel his spirit leaving your mind.
Okay.
And this
Go on, son.
mausoleum.
The winter moon's waiting for you.
He said that
He said that
she wanted him to wait.
I think our missing
if he
persons
doesn't-
case here is connected.
And if he doesn't know why somebody wanted to harm him, then he probably wasn't expecting to be in danger coming here. I mean, more danger than walking into a mausoleum.
Yes, we should be cautious when we locate this woman. She could be quite dangerous.
Yeah. I agree. Do we have any sense of like what we're supposed to do from our guard training if we encounter a dead body? Like, are we like the police where, you know, we can call someone to come make sure that it gets taken to the proper location? Or
I hate to say it, but I think that's us. I think that's.
is
I
that
think
us? Okay.
I think we're those
Yeah.
people.
So
Okay.
here's my question: do we take the body out of the graveyard and then find like a next of kin and then let them deal with it, or do we just like find the appropriate mausoleum and just ourselves?
I mean,
wanna
I
say
feel
we
like that's
should
less
let the-
steps.
Yeah, but I want
will-
to say we should let the family know, because otherwise they're just going to be sad forever and they'll be like, oh, my dear Dalwin Rimble. It's been
See,
years
but-
since I last saw him. That seems like we could avoid it. We could avoid all of that sadness. I mean, there's going to be some sadness. We could just avoid more sadness if we let the family know, is what I'm saying.
I'm on board with this, and if I was Mama and Papa Rimple, or Mama and Mama Rimple, Papa Rimple, whatever have you, I would be so much happier knowing that my child's corpse wasn't dragged out of a mausoleum all the way to a guard station and then all the way back to the graveyard again just to be buried when it's already
Well-
here. I mean, it's already
Well, we don't need
underground. This is most of the work done.
Well, we don't need to drag it. I can put it on a floating
Exactly.
disc of force.
I
think-
mean, I didn't mean
Someone-
literal drag, but
Someone please roll me an intelligence check.
Sure.
Okay.
Would history apply?
okay.
Sure.
I'll do that.
Only if everyone fails is this conversation gonna continue.
19.
Intelligence +4.
Thank you.
Thank you. I thought it was a pretty
Bruh.
good conversation myself.
I
It was
got an
fabulous.
8.
Oh.
William was fully convinced of whatever he just said. Luckily,
That's a default state for him.
Sorry?
Oh, being convinced of what he just said, default state for him.
Okay, default. I didn't hard beaten. Anyway, some of you do remember your guard trading at this point, and that, of course, in a city that has a guard, there's also someone who looks at corpses to help the guard look at evidence and stuff. So you do have a coroner.
Yeah, Duncan. He just talked to it.
Like a medical coroner who can do that as well, but is literally trained to do it and just that all day long every day.
Wow.
Duncan is while we're talking has a little bit of like a little pouch of salt out, like slowly putting a little ring of salt around the body, and I'm gonna use a ritual to put gentle repose on this, so that
Oh.
dead people stay dead and don't come up and try to eat us while we're doing stuff.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna place copper pieces on each eye and continue moving the salt and say, this should do for now, but you likely need to move quickly. I think our primary purpose should be to make sure that there aren't more corpses when this is all said and done.
Mork checks the time and then takes out a lightly adhering piece of paper and writes the time on it and puts it on the corpse's forehead for when gentle repose was cast, for the coroner's benefit.
Very diligent. And speaking of time, you are realizing that considering, God, it's probably early morning at this point. You never actually clocked out yesterday evening, which does happen every now and then, but maybe you should say that you're fine and stop by the guardhouse. Hand in those reports so far, or at least tell a messenger to, Tallulah's not the type of guard captain to immediately mobilize the whole force to look for 4 errant guards, who are most likely
Especially when you're new.
Especially when you're new, or dead in this case. But yeah, you'll be fine. But yeah.
I'll begin ritual casting Tensor's floating disc.
Nice.
And it's almost like the foggy swirls are sort of floating and swirling together in something more solid, but has a slight orange glow to it as the disc is manifesting.
Mork.
So are we using the disc to send this body back or send our reports back?
No, it only follows me. It'll take the body while we walk to the guard house. I'm not that cool. Sorry.
See. No, I was just wondering, is that going to be a first in guard history if there's just a floating corpse with 4 little piles of reports stacked on its chest? Here we are.
Floating through town.
Closed.
Looks like we solved another one.
Should never transport a body without the appropriate documentation. I remember that from guard training. Is there anything else that we need? Oh, go ahead.
Does anyone want to help me move this body onto this thing?
I'll help you. I'm very strong.
Okay. Mork doesn't really help very much. He doesn't like touching dead things.
Yeah. I'll just, make sure that I have some... Well, I'm immune to disease, so I guess it doesn't matter if I'm wearing gloves or not. Pick them up, put them gently there, try not to disturb them too much.
Mork will use precipitation to sanitize your hands afterwards.
Very important to wash your hands.
Yep.
You manage to somehow maneuver the body that is already fairly stiff onto the disc. Leave the dagger still in his chest, not tempering with the potential evidence. His eyes still look at you fearfully. You still remember his voice. But he is being taken care of.
Mork puts this fishbowl on the disc next to the body and says, "Alright, keep an eye on it. If anyone tries to mess with it, splash."
And you hear that little blop as Magic says, "Yes, boss. Immediately, boss." Turns around, heaves around in his tiny bowl, stares at the corpse. You're making your way back. Or
still nighttime.
Anything else?
Yeah. Unless there's anything else we need to do in this crypt, but I think we found what we came here for.
Oh, is Jemima still around?
You
good
will
question.
have noticed that she sort of disappeared at some point in the night when you started to just bunker down, and half of you already falling asleep. Duncan, she did give you a quick wave as she left for a bit. But as you're on your way out, you do see her sitting on one of the gravestones, dangling, like the little child that she is. Oh, hi guys. I was wondering if you came back out. I mean, when you'd come back out.
Mark.
Well, we thought about staying longer, but, being alive and all, had to get the heck out of this place as soon as possible.
You gonna take him away?
Yeah, we're gonna take him back to the guards and see if we can tell his family. I'm sure he'll probably be back in no time, but it's kind of important that we make sure that the live people know what happened to him.
Yeah, you tell them. Whenever I try telling them things, they run away from me.
No.
But you can come back anytime and play a little. This was really fun yesterday.
Do you want to come for a walk? Or are you, like, bound to this place with your mortal coil or general
There's no mortal
ghostliness?
coil left, but
Oh, okay.
I can come sort of to the mid yellow part. That's what the graveyard was when I died. I can't really go into the new part, but I can come a little bit. And she jumps off the graveyard and skips happily to you.
What if we found your grave and dug it up and just brought it with us? That way you could walk through town.
I don't think that's a good idea. I'll come back and
maybe.
visit you, but I don't think we should take you out of the graveyard, okay?
Sorry,
Unless that's what you really want.
I never thought about this option. This would be so
William,
cool.
no!
This would be so
William.
amazing.
Because, I've got a lot of neck
let's-
space and, like, a good femur on, like, a necklace, you know? Like, I feel like that's all it would take.
I'm getting very conflicting messages from different people, and it's stressing me out.
The two holy people are having an aneurysm.
Yep. This is not a great idea, William. You don't
You
know
can
what
totally-
you're messing with.
You can totally take my femur. What's a femur?
Like a leg
Let's-
bone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's cool.
She's down for it. And besides, we don't even know if it'll work.
Femur,
She's
femur,
like
femur.
6 years old. She doesn't know what you're talking
This
about.
seems like more of an off-duty activity.
Yeah,
Can I-
definitely
Oh,
not
well-
while we're trying to take a body back to the guardhouse.
Well,
Can I be a
we should
guard?
already clocked out, so like we're basically off duty.
Can I be a ghost guard? I can totally help you solve cases.
I am hereby
Yeah, that
deputizing
could be
you
useful.
as a ghost guard with my guard
That's
powers.
actually a good idea. That's actually a good
I'm
idea.
not opposed to this.
I am full of good ideas, just people don't listen to me very much.
Well, you know,
well,
I
it
think
was-
that like,
it was
that's a
my-
good idea. Trying to convince a kid who doesn't know what a femur is that you could basically just wear it as jewelry, less of a good idea.
Now,
That's
to be
good.
fair, I'm not trying to convince her. I just suggested it. That's two different things.
Oh, no. We all know what happens when you suggest things to impressionable ladies. They get all like, whoa, and then they let us do whatever we want, and it's kind of weird. It's creepy. I don't, Nope. No femur jewelry, no suggesting. We should just get this body back to the guardhouse. We can come back and deputize the little ghost girl later.
But we will come back later.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Can you also maybe find out where I'm buried? I don't know anymore.
Yes.
Oh,
We can find that out.
Oh.
I should have said that
Maybe.
earlier, but I didn't remember.
Are there
What?
any...
But-
Oh,
Mm.
go ahead.
If you
is
come
the
back
area that
with
you're
like a Sorry, Mark. You go first.
is the area that you can't go like a circle? We could like triangulate where you're buried.
I'm not sure. Like, if I knew
Oh, how about-
the area, I'd have looked, but...
Oh,
Really?
Why don't
This
you
sounds like
figure
a
that out while
problem.
we're gone?
That we can solve later with a lot of medicinal supplies and a little prestidigitation work.
You did also
While
remember,
not
some of you
standing in
anyway,
the middle.
the story of Jemima and how she died. So you can cross-reference outside.
Yeah, we'll be
Perfect.
able to figure it out.
Listen,
But you
femur
promised you
bone or
come
no
back.
femur bone, I'm going to take you for a walk, and we will sort this out
Yes.
later.
Ghost guard, ghost guard, ghost guard, and she starts.
You have my word as a
Marching
non-ghost
ahead.
guard to you, the first deputized ghost guard. And as any guard will tell you, that is the most sanctimonious of promises you can give.
What's sanctimonious?
I'm not sure it actually works in this context, but it sounds important. So we're going to go with it.
Something holy, right?
I don't know.
Ye-
Duncan?
Or is it a demon? Demonious?
I don't think so.
We're not quite sure yet.
Coming from William, what does sanctimonious mean? I'm really unsure about that. You know what? I don't know how to answer your question, Jemima, but we'll come back with some nice things for you. You know?
Yeah,
I was thinking more like toys, because she likes playing. We could give her some toys and put them where she's buried, and maybe she can
I want a sword.
around. You want a sword?
I want a sword, and I want a bow, and I want like 3 daggers that I can throw at people. And I want bombs. Do you have bombs?
Well,
She is a guard.
bombs could be bad for the other people that are buried here, but I'll see what I can do. And Dorcas just writes down sword, bow, 3 throwing daggers.
Lean into Dorcas.
Definitely
and
no bombs.
Marcus,
Yep.
she can't interact with the physical world, right?
Not with that attitude.
She's just
Alright.
a sad, lonely kid. I'll let her figure it out later. But she just
did it
wants
once.
friends.
And she
You're
just wants to be able to throw daggers, and we all want better throwing things in the...
You're reaching the limit of Jemima's existence, I guess, at this point. Because as you keep walking and talking and wondering how to help her, if to help her, and she's marching on, marching ahead, out of earshot. Eventually, she just stops and says, "Okay, this is it. Ew, ew, I hate that feeling. Ew, 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 ew." And she quickly hops back into the safe zone for her. That's all right. That's good. It's like someone's walking over your grave. No. Anyway, if you come back, you just shout my name real loud, and then either I'll hear you, or one of my other friends hears you, or a monster hears you, but then I can hear you scream, and then I will come and rescue you again, she says to William.
I appreciate that. It's the diligence and the virtuosity that really made you stand out as a guard candidate, in my opinion.
I also don't know what that means, but that's okay. You just tell them that I'm really, really good copper material, and I can punch people, and that I'm the right person for the job, and stuff.
You have my word.
And then she floats back because she feels like she's making an arse out of herself, and runs away real quick.
So
I like that
so
kid.
So if Tilly is Dorcas's pet, and I have magic, gestures to the fish watching the body on the Nintendo's floating disc, and Will has Jemima in future. So Duncan, you need like a weird pet, just for the
Just kind of
symmetry.
looks over at Will and then looks back. I think I'm covered.
I feel like I was just attacked or complimented, but I don't know which.
I'm missing something here. Mark.
Really eviscerated is more like it, I would think. Mork,
No.
let me put it to you this way. A pet, right, is some sort of like weak creature that you're supposed to be taking care of, and they're very difficult to keep alive, yet against all odds, you manage
very
to make
hurtful to
sure that
magic.
they're okay. So then I look between William and Duncan, and I'm just like, just remember who takes care of the things that need help staying alive.
So now I'm definitely being complimented. That's what's happening here. I can tell.
Sure.
Wow.
I think I understand.
We don't need to solve the case. We're just gonna have a battle royale at the end. First battle of wits. Sure, it won't escalate.
Duncan
Well.
did point out that my smite does do psychic damage, so I actually think that would be wonderful.
Oh god. Well, you're reaching the gate of the Grey Friars cloister and the entrance slash exit to and from the graveyard, which is of course manned as usual with a familiar face in this case. You see Dido, the dark-skinned elf that was telling you about the missing persons case the day before, about the grandmother and her kid. Oh!
Do it.
Oh God! Oh God! And she runs up to you as she sees the corpse being transported in seemingly thin air. What happened?
Well, as you can see, he's dead. He's the one that we were looking for. We didn't find the old lady and the grandson. We lost Darian, but the good news is we found our friend William hiding behind a gravestone. It was so weird. Darian just popped behind a mausoleum and boop, out came William. So I think Darian's still in the graveyard somewhere.
No, that fucker came back and had the audacity to pretend he had no idea what I was talking about. Honestly, I don't know why the abbot is keeping him around.
What an asshole. I can't believe this guy. So useless.
I know, he's cleaning the latrines. Made him. Anyway, let me have a look. You said you didn't find his grandmother?
I don't suppose
Oh.
any report of the grandmother coming out of the graveyard has reached you.
No.
If you hear anything concerning them, the grandmother is officially a person of interest in this investigation. And please, if the Greyfires find her, please escort her out of the dangerous part of the graveyard and then detain her and call the guards.
Do you think she...
We would like very much to speak to her.
Okay.
Early days.
But
Early days.
We have a body that's not supposed to be in the graveyard currently that we need to go see our captain about.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for your help, guys. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Super quick question before we leave, though. I just gotta take a leak. Which way to the latrines?
Oh, just second door on the left, little corridor downstairs.
Great, thank you.
Oh God, I was hoping this would happen.
Me too.
Oh no.
So much, yes.
We'll head down that way.
You're heading down that way. You are, I'm assuming, not taking a leak, but looking for Darian, who is quickly found as he's whistling to himself a sad little tune while he's doing some not so dignified things to the not so modern toilet latrine. I'm gonna spare everyone the details. I think you're muted.
Oh man, that looks like some real shit work, if you don't mind me saying. Who'd you have to upset to get last with that?
Alas, at the gate. Dido's really just constantly on my back. I don't know what I did to annoy her, but latrines here, potato duty there. It's just she really just likes bossing people around. And you can tell from the way he talks, he's either very tired or very hungover. It's almost like a kindred spirit.
I'm assuming he's not facing me currently, like looking away sort of thing. And if so, I'd like to quickly prestidigitation away any signs of being a guard, like make my badge kind of like just look like some kind of ornate, nonsensical ribbon or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. He gave you a quick look over his shoulder and then kept scrubbing. Yeah, just... can I help you with anything?
Just kind of, I guess, wandering. Got lost a little bit. Was looking for a buddy of mine. Told me to meet him here last night, but never showed. Friggin' Rimple Kid. You know how it is.
Rimple Kid?
Yeah,
One of his colleagues? And he stands up at this point and turns to you.
I don't know how much I can say, to common folk. It's a little bit of a hush-hush sort of thing. Not to brag, but, you know, we'll get up to some cool stuff. I'm sure a person such as you, might know what I'm talking about, maybe?
You can definitely see him sort of grow a little bit taller, and as he's about to do that, he's realizing he's wearing murky gloves, quickly takes them off, puts them aside, goes back to his smooth demeanor, like, what did the Rimple Kid tell you about all these special activities that are going on here?
Well, first of all, let me do you a little favor. And then Will is going to cast Minor Illusion, and it's going to create some illusory flowers, kind of like swaying in a fake breeze all around the latrine. And because I have malleable illusions, they will also exude a little bit of a smell that covers up some of the latrine odor nonsense. I feel like, that's a little bit nicer now.
That's much appreciated. But
And between you and me, and then Will lean in real close. He was supposed to deliver a little something, something special, and then didn't.
make me a general deception check, because at this point you're having deceptive motives here.
Not William. No, never.
Yeah, but I mean, I could let you roll a deception check every 5 minutes for everything you do, but
That's fair. That's a 15.
Oof, nice. I'm gonna roll as well. Oof, that's a 19. He knows something is up. It's like, who sent you exactly? What did the Rimple Kid tell you? 'Cause there's a lot of murky business going on here. Different kinds. You show me your cards, I show you mine.
I'll lean in a little bit closer and put one hand on his shoulder and cast Suggestion as I whisper, "You can trust me."
Okay, what's that save? Wisdom?
A wisdom save.
Ta, that's a no.
Woohoo.
He looks up as he notices there's something weird magic, and then his eyes glaze over for a second. And he smiles. Yeah, of course I can trust. Of course I trust you. Why wouldn't I?
That's my guy. That's my
Upstanding
guy.
citizen like yourself. But how can I help you? What do you need to know?
Honestly, anything you can tell me about this Rimple Kid and why he might have bailed on me. Because, I'm just disappointed. I got people to report to now, and it's just, it's a whole thing,
He's a very excitable young boy. He kept running after me like a lovesick little puppy. I used to be quite well known down at the Iron Bowl, with the Resurrectionists, but they are unfortunately slaves to bureaucracy. Just
Tell me about
people. I know, right?
But really, tell me about it.
Nice. Sorry, GM needs a second. I didn't see that coming. Well, see, I had a couple of opportunities, business opportunities for them. I declined. Simple as that. They didn't just decline. They fucking threw me out the pub.
Those idiots.
Absolutely bloody short-sighted idiots. I mean, I'm a monk now, right? I could do whatever I want in this graveyard. Nobody's checking the graves 2 days inwards. Sure, it's dangerous, but if you get the right people, there's treasure here. No gold. No, not gold. No magical items. Some magical items. But there's treasure in those bones, let me tell you. I've made, a lot of money already, right? Unfortunately, Rimple Kid is excitable and here for it, but well, he's not a very smart boy. He's just not one of us, Too trusting.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm hanging out with a couple of people right now, and they're just, they're alright, but would I call them cool? I don't know.
That's what it's all about, right? You have to project that image of pure confidence and fake it till you make it. Yeah.
You get it. You get it. And I think that's why we're such good friends.
What's your name?
Not important. So, listen.
Alright.
One last question, and I'll let you get back to it. And you know what? I'll even double down on the flowers for you. And, I'll try to do a second sort of wave of these odor-canceling flowers, or at least as best as I can.
Thanks, Notch. That is amazing.
You know, we all got to lift a little, and in the end, the boat will
Lilac.
sink, or something like that. Now, that last question is super, super quick. Do you know anybody who, you know, I could go to maybe get rid of somebody? Like, let's say, hypothetically, you know, you had somebody following you around like a puppy, you know, wasn't cool, wouldn't get it, and wanted them to stop following. Permanently, like.
Whoa! You don't just. That's not cool, mate. That's not. That's not.
I mean,
cool.
it's a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical.
Let me tell you, A, assassins are super fucking expensive, and B, it's just not worth it. You can listen to me, mate. Listen to me. You can work this. If you have someone following you around like a
I'm all
lovesick
ears.
puppy, you can use this to your advantage. You tell people about it. You show people that's happening, and eventually, you gather more and more of these followers. You make them work for you. They can give you money. They can give you contacts. The Rimble Kid was useless, but he had money and a lot of friends, all with more money. Hey.
I hear you. And like attracts like, right? So probably a bunch more students, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't care. But that's usually the ones with the money and with the need for my wares.
And between you and me, let's say I had some gold burning a hole in my pocket. What you got?
Well, usually we don't do this person to person, you know? We don't do that here. People will get suspicious. The monks get suspicious. They can't ever know about it.
Right.
Tell you what, you leave me a message with what you're looking for at Sandy's. And you know Sandy's to be Sandy Bells, who is a pub owner. Just on the other side of the graveyard, really, just outside around the corner. And Sandy's is generally an upstanding citizen, but he's definitely one of those people that's just like, not my business, don't care, never look at the message you're given for someone else. Then nobody shoots the messenger. So just leave me a little message with Sandy's, right? What you're needing, roughly what you're looking for, how old, what race, what magic, and we can talk. Everything via messages.
I like it. You got like a house specialty, just so you know I know where to start?
At the moment, I got a couple of bard bones.
Mm.
Elf, human, dwarf.
Well, now I've got a lot to think about.
Yeah, those are fairly. I need to get rid of them. You know, move the wares, move the things along. Well, can do you a good offer for that, Mr. Important.
You know what? That's what I'll sign my nickname as, so you know it's me. So I'll leave you to your flowers, and you have a good one.
Thanks, mate. You too. See you soon.
We'll fire off a 2-finger salute and turn around and walk back.
He waits until you're gone before he puts the gloves back on because, you know, image. Is quite happy with himself, apparently, that even though he was caught doing such menial tasks, he found himself another customer. And you can almost hear his little, still got it, when you leave the latrines. Coming
Excellent.
back to our 3 other guards, chatting with Dido about the things you've experienced as she asks you why it took you so long, and hopefully everything
You
went
seriously have
alright.
nothing to cover the body with?
Oh yes, I can get you something, of course.
I mean, we're gonna
Are
be
you
walking
gonna-
through the streets. Probably
Yeah,
seems like
yeah,
a good idea.
Of course. She did bring you a very simple linen cloth fabric that covers the whole body.
That's great, because all I really have in my kit is like a tent or rough weather guard camping duties, and that would just be. I'll just work on making a little, like in our real world when we see someone covered on like an ambulance stretcher, something that'll be secure so that we won't alarm anybody more than we need to walking through the city with this.
Yeah. I'm a
We didn't
little
take the knife
sad
out,
that-
did we?
No, we shouldn't do that because
So the sheet's
The
like
real
propped up
coroner
very
needs to
obviously on
know.
this like pommel.
Yeah, it's like mid chest level. I'm kind of sad that they got the sheet because like it would have been kind of funny if we just had to pitch a tent on the disc and there's just a body in the tent. That would have been hilarious.
like a little lantern illuminating it from the inside, and it's like, don't worry, it's just asleep.
And that's glamping right there.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
dear
we're
Lord.
guards. This is normal.
We're the
This is
authorities.
peak
Don't worry about it.
professionalism right here.
Dido is looking at you as you're, I'm assuming, discussing all of that in the open.
Of
You
course.
do notice an eyebrow has been raised, but everyone deals with death differently, and she is a woman of faith, and she understands that, especially in your line of work, people might get jaded after a while. You must have been doing this for years if you can talk so jokingly about such important matters.
Sorry, Morg.
But is there anything else you need? I will, of course, immediately inform the abbot of having maybe some people patrol a little bit closer into the graveyard to see if maybe she ran into the wrong direction.
I guess I just have one question, and this is, a bit minor compared to keeping track of anybody for the case, but do you happen to know where somebody named Jemima is buried? She was very little when she died, somewhere in the yellow zone area. Do you have,
the friendly ghost with the little braids and
Yeah,
little
little girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
she's
creepy,
sweet.
but really sweet. Yeah,
Well,
she's a sweetheart.
They all are in a way, but she's she was in line to marry the king actually. When you've heard of the Black Dinner, yes?
Well, she
Yeah.
mentioned something about it, and
Yeah. She's with the noble families, the aristocratic families in the. Hold on, she looks at the map, shows you a spot just here. That's west of the place you were supposedly in, and she points at the mausoleum. Yeah, just a little bit further ahead. All in all, it would be about 2 days' journey. The area is, as far as we know, not entirely safe. Everything that's this far in has its problems, but if you want to visit her grave, you should be able to, with the proper precautions, of course. Take some holy water, and you'll be fine.
Yes, I would like to, at some point when we're done with our official business here, of course.
Of course. Anything else I can do for you? William? Back as well? Did you find it alright?
I did. I
hope Darian's still working.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
now if he's trying to skip that again, I will have his hide.
No, not a very chatty guy, but it seemed hard at work. A lot of scrubbing sounds, some grumbling.
Really? We can never make him shut up.
Maybe that's what the grumbling was then. Just like self-directed monologue. I didn't catch any of it.
That's fair enough. I will leave you to your duties. Have a good day. And she walks back to the gate.
Thank you so much, and we'll start heading out.
Where are you going with the corpse? We do have the sort of mortuary, city mortuary, just in the slum area in the Cowgate, which is not far away from the guard's house, but it is a separate entity. It's led by a halfling called Cornell, and a couple of interns, a couple of lab assistants as well, a couple of guards. We're going full procedural. Are you taking her there? Him there?
I think we should. That seems like the best thing we can do.
You you get a couple of looks on the way because there's a huge disc with a goldfish bowl and a definitely body, because it's definitely a body. It has that look, with especially with the dagger there. People are not wanting to be too close to it. People are trying to stay out of your way, and that's, you know, just how you like it as well. But they notice your guards. In fact, William, did you think to undisguise yourself, or did William forget?
As far as I know, I look like William, but my badge is covered up as of right now.
Yeah, but would the others notice that because you forgot to re-uncover?
I have pretty
Got a
decent
passive perception of
perception.
13.
I'll leave that to William, whether he noticed that on the way out, or Nat, you're muted if you're talking, but whether he noticed that.
Let's find out here. You know what? It lasts for a good while, like, unless it dropped, and I didn't intentionally drop it, so I would say you probably would have forgot that it was up.
So
Yikes.
I'm assuming the two wise classes would probably have noticed that there's the guard badge no longer showing on William's chest as he came up. And you know him long enough and well enough to know that if he goes down to see Darian, something's up.
So then I think while we're walking, Duncan will just kind of lean over and say, "So he wasn't very chatty."
And there are no other guards around. It's just us, right? And the corpse?
Yeah.
Oh no, he was super chatty. That was a lie. I don't do that very often. Don't look into that. It seems like Darian is actually some kind of bone kingpin. King bone? Bone pin. Bone king. Bone king.
King boner.
There you go. He's the boner king. I mean, no. Either way, we'll figure out the title
walking at that
later.
one, just like straight up.
What we know for sure is that he sells these bones, and that I'm supposed to leave him a message, and I'm supposed to... Yep.
His name is Darian.
Yep.
I feel like we should have put this one together sooner.
Honestly, I'm a little bit embarrassed on your behalf that you didn't solve it sooner.
Oh yeah, when we walked up to Dido, they called Darian.
Yeah, that one, and we were
noticed him.
expecting one of the Grey Friars. It's our first case. It's okay. These things happen.
Yep.
So do we get to go disintegrate him or something?
I mean, we could do that, or we can try to like set some kind of trap and maybe catch, more people involved, because he mentioned very specifically having lots of people underneath him, and if you're gonna kill's the wrong word. If you're gonna gently put a cult to sleep, you should try to put as many members to sleep as possible.
Here's the thing. If we're going to do that, we can't be made to seem as though we set them up to catch them in the perpetration, of a crime. Because that's called entrapment, and that goes against honesty, and we can't do that as guards. So we can not do that in our official capacity, William.
I think it's
Okay.
called
Where there being official capacity.
You see,
William's gonna
entrapment's
point
one
to
thing,
Duncan.
But we got this thing in the handbook also called it's a sting operation, which is honestly, it kind of confused me because it was basically like entrapment, but you're allowed to do it. I don't really understand the difference.
We're lying officially, and that's okay.
That sounds
you have the-
dangerous with you.
If you have the paperwork for a lie, you're all right.
I
Well,
have just realized that this means that William is our in to go undercover for a sting operation,
wow.
which means
you know-
we're either saved or we're royally fucked.
We should definitely check back in with the captain before
Tallulah
we
first.
do this. Yes, let's
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
100%.
I want to be
If for
more
no
hurt
other
by your
reason than that-
assessment, but it's about right.
Honesty, first tenant of the guard.
Unless you have the right
Sometimes it hurts.
paperwork.
And I'm
Yes,
full of it.
Also paperwork.
Honesty, that is.
Yep. You're
You're,
definitely not full of paperwork.
You're
Nope.
reaching the city mortuary, which you've been there like once or twice when you had to familiarize yourself with all the various branches and duties of the guard. And as you head inside, you know there's always this little reception desk sort of where someone's waiting to direct you and you know, sort of stopping all the people that go, oh my god, have you seen my son? That person. And you see a dwarf sitting there with very spiky hair, very undwarvish, no beard, just a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, very young, sort of punky looking. He's having a look at some newspapers, a lollipop in his mouth, looks up. Oh, hi guys. What can I do for you? And you know him, you've met him before. This is Doc.
Hey Doc, we got a fresh one for you.
All right. He puts the lollipop back into his mouth. Ooh,
Magic
stab wound.
splashes a little bit.
That fish still alive. I don't know if anyone noticed. The fish is alive. Alive. We
Mark
can't take
walks
that.
over and picks up magic. It's okay, boy.
The magic's
Yeah,
getting
the
really
fish was
agitated
just-
because someone's touching the corpse, and you told him to watch out for someone touching the corpse, and splash, 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 splash.
You know, you're talking a lot more than you were before, and it's freaking me out.
He's splashing more and more and more and more. He's also, you know, haven't been fed in a while, so maybe he's a little bit more alert again.
He's just talking because he's no longer sedated by swimming around in an alcohol solution.
I know that feeling, Magic. I relate to you muchly right now.
Magic, I just need you to go to sleep. And he's just gonna dismiss the fish.
The fish leaves splashing.
We're here because we went into the old graveyard at the behest of the Grey Friars and their monastic arm. We were looking for some missing persons, and we had a different open investigation related to the Body Snatchers Guild. This one is to do with the Body Snatchers Guild.
Right, I'm
yeah,
gonna stop you right there. I just cut them open and see what happened. Like, that's,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
you wanna watch?
we talked to him already, so we know a little bit about what happened. Duncan be able to tell you more about that since he's the one that conducted the interview with
Oh,
the
you
vampire.
spoke with
No,
him?
just kidding.
He
Vampires?
doesn't know what happened.
No, it's not a vampire.
No,
Right.
he.
It was just a book I read once upon a time back before I joined the guard. Never mind, don't worry about it.
All right, you just don't joke about vampires. We've had our fair share of those. He has. Oh, can you follow me with a disc? Looking at Mark. He opens the doors back in. Just bring him in.
Yes, of course. And
This way.
Mork walks in, and it just whooms, and it just follows right after him and kind of bonks on the door a little bit. Bonk, bonk.
The corpse is almost rolling off. No, you stay there, son. You can all come in as well. He's not trying to keep you out. He takes the corpse, puts him onto another table. Right, let's have a look, and puts on a monstrum of various glasses and magnifying glasses in one. All right, okay. That looks like he was stabbed.
Yes, that's our determination as well.
Dagger. Checking for pulse. Last time I didn't check for pulse and he was not actually dead. That was funny when he woke up screaming. Nope, this one's gone. Takes the dagger out. Looking at it, very simple. No ornaments. Grey hilt. Is this... Where did you say you found him?
In a mausoleum.
It was the
Mausoleum?
mausoleum.
I mean, this is one of the daggers they hand out to the monks for protection. You know that, right?
The monk killed them.
Oh, well, the dagger of a monk killed him. I don't know who
Could you
wielded him.
tell if the dagger was thrown into the heart, or if it was just stabbed normally?
You didn't mess with it?
Nope.
Well, it looks like it was stabbed up close, considering it's through to the... It's in till the hilt. Like, there's no... You see, like... And he stabs the guy a couple more times. So you just throw it.
God.
You just throw it. That's it wouldn't go all the way through, but this one went all the way to the back. Usually that's full frontals, or yeah.
Well, we can rule out Jemima then, I guess.
What? You thought the little ghost kid was murdering people, Dorcas?
I didn't. I will not categorically exclude anybody from suspicion for this murder. What other reason does she have to be floating around the body? I've just got to be thorough. Got to, make sure that we're covering all of our
Have you
leads.
excluded yourself yet?
Dorcas is the killer. Oh my god, Dorcas is the killer.
Wait, there's a really easy way to figure this out. I can cast a zone of truth on myself, and I can't lie while I'm in the
Quite all
zone.
right,
On-
Lucas. I don't
Only
think
you
it'll be
would know
necessary.
if you succeeded on the resistance or not, and you could lie about that.
I could convince her to tell the truth, but I'm just gonna say that maybe we should just take her word for it and save ourselves a lot of time.
Probably.
We can
Considering
say
that
the
we
same
are
thing
all
about
with-
Darian, though. If Darian says they didn't do it, then we have taking the same word.
Oh,
This is so confusing.
actually, speaking of Darian, Doc, can you tell if the person who stabbed our young victim here was the same height or taller or shorter? Like an angle thing. I don't know.
From the angle it was in, I would say a little bit shorter, but they might have been sitting. I don't know. That was sort of evidence, really circumstantial. Because, like I say, he could have been on the ground, he could have been kneeling, could have been sitting, could have been standing, but the angle was from underneath a little bit.
Sure. And then DM question, I guess we never really established anybody's heights, but was Darian taller or shorter than Rimple?
Darian was taller, definitely taller than you as well. He was fairly good looking, fairly charismatic, and just a showman, really. You know a conman when you see one.
Can't con
Because,
a con, unless you have proficiency in illusions.
Yes.
Well, this is downright confusing, because if Rimple was waiting for Darian to show up, but Darian never did show up, and he was stabbed in the front, but he doesn't know who it was that murdered him, it probably wasn't Darian?
But when Duncan was talking to him, he used the word she. He said she said to wait.
Right.
And
Right.
so, what if it was Dido?
Ooh. But what would her
There were
motive
two other
be?
people in the graveyard also.
The
Right.
old lady and the
daughter.
grandson, you mean?
Or the granddaughter, yeah.
Granddaughter, yeah, sorry.
Grandson. No, it was grandson.
Grandson, sorry. Just
It was a grandson, okay. That was player error for me there, sorry.
That's fine. And if you notice, or if you remember, Dido also went, you found him. She
I
wasn't.
did not. Ooh.
I figured, that's what I'm telling you.
Yes. What if it was Dido?
And you had a whole conversation about, but you didn't find the grandmother. You can infer that this is the grandkid.
I did, but I didn't put... Oh, gosh. Okay. I didn't put that piece of it together. I just kind of assumed that was me as a player being like, oh, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but no, now Dorcas is galaxy braining her way through this.
We're still
Chain
learning,
of
Dorcas. It's quite all right.
events.
It must have been Waldy, obviously.
It must have been the 20 retweets we got from chat that just gave you that galaxy brain.
Oh, thanks everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, what did you say about their Nut or Mork?
Oh, it was stupid. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It could
No,
have
I
been
just
Waldy,
cut you
but
off.
I think it was Dido. It's Dido. But what would her motive be?
Keeping the
Does she
whole
have like
operation under wraps.
Yes, I don't think it's
Maybe they're
protection of
working
the Great
together.
Friars. Otherwise, she would kill Darian.
right? Well, I mean, who wouldn't really? And I say that as a very lawful, upstanding member of the law enforcement of this town. No.
William, you spoke to Darian. Does he seem the type to be running the entire operation?
I say this with all due respect and a full, maybe not so full, okay, super brief assessment of his character. He seems like the type to think he's running the whole operation.
Then is it possible that it goes up another rung?
I mean, it's hard to say.
Well, if
Go for it.
if I know anything from reading my crime stories, it's that everything in one individual story is always connected to itself. So I don't think there's any chance that Darian and this other murder Dido thing and Darian's illegal business are unconnected. It's all got to wrap up in one neat little bow because life is neat and tidy, just like, all the stories I read.
Oh, buddy, we gotta have a talk. Not now. Later, with medicine.
Oh, just you wait. Just you watch. I'll be right here.
Doc you hear a little crank as he bites down on the lollipop and says, "Oh, is that by any chance the necromancy stuff you're talking about here?"
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, we heard about that. Nox stops by every now and then. We kind of have a thing.
Wait,
you remember
Nox?
Rupert Nox is the head of the mortal relativity department in the school. The guy
The department at the university.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
the guy who originally gave you this case because
Right.
he talked about so you think the kid did it or someone else? No, Charlie the vampire is here.
We're not quite sure yet.
No. I do have a thought, though. William, right? You were talking to Darian about possibly getting in on a cut. What if there is some way that we can, use him as, an informer or something like that, so that he'll tell us what's going on the higher levels of the operation in exchange for us not shutting him down for his illegal body parts trade or something. I don't know. We should definitely talk to Tallulah about this, but
Dorcas,
it's a thought.
are you suggesting that we sting somebody into some kind of sting trap and then coerce them to become a snitch?
I think so.
It means
Okay,
that we can.
I'm on board.
catch
I just wanted to
people
see.
who are murdering people in the graveyard. Then yes, I guess I am.
All right, from now on,
figured out.
the old entrap and snitch plan is called pulling a Dorcas. Let's go.
I'm all here for it, guys.
I don't like that name.
I've been looking at the handbook and I think I figured out the difference. Besides paperwork, it has to be something that they would have, or that they're already engaging in elsewise.
Exactly.
So you can't just be like, "Hey, sell me some bad things." You have to be like, "Hey, I heard you sell bad things. Is that true? Sell me some."
Mm-hmm. You have to follow along and collect evidence, which we can do. We can definitely do that, and we can get more information, maybe about what's going on with the higher-ups, than we otherwise would be able to. But we have to act cool, like we don't know what's going on, or else they'll get suspicious, and then our brilliant plan will fall apart.
The only way I know how to act is
information
cool.
in it.
As long as you get these guys, honestly, Jock says, we've had so much of an easier time since the guild went, well, guild. They got their legal status and have to follow the laws now. It was a long time coming, to be honest. Everyone knew they existed. Everyone knew what they were doing. Although, some, of course, to this day claim that they didn't just dig up bodies and artifacts before they, cut the middleman sometimes. I remember, and this is going to be your boon. Thanks, chat. I remember when the guy that now leads the guild, he was actually on trial. They say he and his partner killed like 20 people or something, just to sell the corpses. Real wild. They eventually realized it was the partner, Hare. I think his name was Hare. Bunny? No. Yeah, Hare. That did all the killing, and Bark had no idea. So he was let go. Became a respectable man afterwards. Lots of the, let's just say, small-time criminals are now leading a decent life with his help with the guild. It's been easier for all of us since. Not that they're good people, but they're upstanding citizens. That's all we can ask.
That is some information, and I am having a hard time processing it because I'm pretty sure that I just learned about a whole cadre of people who will murder you for your bones, and that's something that is going to sit with me for a little while.
Oh, don't worry. They don't do that anymore. Like they have monthly screenings. They have. I think they promised like real pinky promise. Like. I don't know.
Good.
They might just be the right people.
I'm from not around here in Edom, and where I come from, when people promise you really solidly, you really can't believe them. You need like proof or magic. So is there proof or magic?
Sorry?
What?
Did you ask?
I mean, if we can get a hold of one of these people that's supposedly selling bones for money, I could always zone of truth them. Then we could get truth and magic, or proof and magic, because they wouldn't be able to tell a lie.
Just to be clear,
I don't like this plan.
Were you telling us that the current leader of the Body Snatchers was part of this? Is that what is that a connection I'm making, or am I imagining?
A lot of them were, yeah. It's all legal
They've just
now.
now gone legit.
They've got the paperwork, so it must be legal.
Oh,
as we've
God,
seen,
I hate paperwork so much.
As we've learned today, paperwork can take things that are illegal and make them legal.
That's exactly
Which
how
feels
it
wrong.
works, apparently.
Speaking of paperwork, I think we should probably get back to the guard station and make sure that our reports are turned into Tallulah before we decide to go off and do our next next stage of the investigation.
Our next highly legal thing.
Yes,
Absolutely.
because he
And I think
he will probably get really mad if we don't file something. We were supposed to do that like last night, and we didn't. And now that the body's taken care of, we should probably go take care of the body's manifests, paperwork, etc. So
Yeah,
I think
I'll
right
send-
about then.
I'll
I
forward
think right about then
anything
the
I find.
sorry.
No, I'll forward anything I'll find and do the filing there. But I thought you were already on your way out, so do talk.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought we were still just standing around talking. That was my bad.
Yeah, I think right about then the tent is floating disc ends and the body just drops to the floor.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Like, yeah, he tried to move it onto the table, but it's probably still half, like one leg. Just bonks. But Doc says that he will, of course, examine the body a little bit further. He will file a report, as everyone does. And if you have any further questions, he's here. He'll check for poisons as well. But, yeah.
Seems like a solid knifing, though, at the end of the day. Well, thanks for the hard work, Doc. We'll keep you in the loop and vice versa.
Yeah. Just, do you need... Yeah, take this to Tallulah, and he bags up the dagger that was used. Nope.
Mark?
I think we skipped there a little bit. Did you get the dagger part?
Mark?
Yes.
Cool. Then you're making your way to the guard station? Guardhouse
Mark.
is, of course, still beautiful, blackened, smelly, as always. Just on the middle of the high street in Eden's Old Borough. You see a couple of guards outside having early morning break. Couple teapots they're stirring. There's not always tea in those teapots and teacups, but nobody's really doing much about that. There's a couple of people running around, a couple of kids, cats, dogs, and one beloved pig, of course, is also just sniffing up to various passerbys, getting her scritchies. Tharkus is nowhere to be seen, so Sophie is on her own, and she makes the most of the situation.
Come here,
And you head
Sophie.
in. Sophie immediately runs up to you, and it's that thing they do when they pretend they're looking forward to seeing you and sniffing you, but really they're sniffing for any food you might be hiding away in a pocket.
Oh, total sucker, giving her a ration.
Yee. She gladly takes the nuts and the jerky. Pick her up. You walk inside. People greet you. Rivers goes, oh, they're back. Tallulah, they're back. They're alive. We're so glad you're alive. We were worried because when they die on the first job, that's just so much more paperwork.
I think they're glad we're back.
I'm gonna look at Duncan and just be like, should we tell him about William or nah?
He didn't technically die, so
Okay, he didn't
Maybe
stay
just
dead.
unconscious.
All right.
he was just dying. There was a stark difference.
Permadeath.
Technically, not dead is the best kind of technically.
It's the
Yeah.
best kind of alive.
Tallulah is
mm.
coming downstairs. Right. No major injuries. Nobody dead. Yes, Mark.
Well, none of us anyway, but we
Well,
found our man Rimple
We were looking for
stabbed
Rimple?
through the heart. Actually,
What's a Rimple? Who's a Rimple?
One
Uh,
of the
Upstairs,
implicated
briefing room
students.
now. Chop chop.
Yeah.
And she runs back up.
uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right. Give it to me. What did you find out?
Well,
What's
Captain-
a Rimple? Why is he dead?
It seems that we found the source, at least potentially the source of the necromantic items. It appears to be a individual within the Grey Friars, though we don't know how many of them might be involved.
All right. That's good. Do you have a name?
Yes, Darian.
Darian. All right. Darian, hold on. Oh. And what's that Rimple kid you've talked about there? What's he? Why is he dead?
One of the students that was implicated in this. It appears that somebody has murdered him. Well, he has been murdered. We are still determining who it was. Darian appears to be a chief suspect.
Wait. But surely you know about this because the Greyfriars told us that the guards had been sent to help out with him and his grandmother who had gone missing in the graveyard.
Except it was Darian who was sent.
Oh, we got a report yesterday. Yeah, one of the monks came up. Weird lanky fella, just a little bit too full of himself. I took the report myself. He was telling us
him.
about a grandmother
Hmm.
and a grandson No names, no, well, Mrs. Smith, but we all know that's bullshit.
Well, the grandson is the one that we found dead.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
sent a patrol there, and then at the gate they told us that another patrol's already in and described you guys. So that's the guy you found, Rimple?
The monk carrying the report to you is our suspect.
Is Darian, yeah.
The guy that told me that there are missing people.
Yes.
Well, we think he's
Why would he
involved.
tell
We actually think this other person named Dido, who seems only tangentially related, is actually our current prime suspect.
How did you meet Dido?
Doesn't sound very strong when I say it that way.
How did you meet Dido? Who is she?
Dido is Darian's immediate superior.
We
So
met
she asked-
her very legitimately.
Yeah.
Okay. Did she ask you for help, or?
Something
Yes,
like
she
that.
did.
She thought that we had been dispatched by you to go find the missing people in the graveyard, but we didn't know that the guards had been contacted about that. We just said that we would help out because we were guards. We just weren't the specific guards.
So the people that contact... Oh, God. And she takes a swig from her flask. I need my headache medicine. It's too early for this.
It's all
Darian
here in the
Adrenaline. Why-
report.
Why is his name familiar? She leaves the room without telling you why for a second. There's this moment of, do we follow her? Do we not follow her? And you hear banging doors from opposite the corridor where her office is. You hear curses that would make a sailor blush, and she comes back, takes another swig. That's why the name sounded familiar. And she puts down a little report card. Apparently they complained about him before. Darian Drummond, Master Burke from the Resurrectionist Guild, said he was supposed to be a bad influence, and yeah, we never really did anything about it because there was no evidence other than one guy complaining about him. And let's just say the Resurrectionists are not exactly the people we give top priority to cases.
Who was it that was complaining about him?
Master Burke.
Master Burke, right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust this Master Burke guy, Tallulah? So, like, more or less than me, I guess is what I'm now
That-
aiming
I
for.
would trust
I'm
you
getting
with
us
my
a
newborn
low-
child before I trust that guy.
Okay.
So I'm getting like a 4 vibe. Is that accurate?
Yeah, about 4, yeah.
I think I'm like a 4, and he's probably like a... Oh, you know what? I mean, if he's a 4, then I'm like a 7, and that's great. Right? Right? I'm just going to pretend you said yes.
She's just staring at you, unblinkingly. Anyway. What are we gonna do about this, then? You think the
Well,
monks
there's
did it?
grounds for bringing Darian in. We have a note drawing the deceased to the site of his murder,
Here we go.
written by Darian and signed by him, though we don't know. Or it was written and signed by him, right? Yes.
Yeah.
But we don't. The origin of the paper is a bit murky.
Any other evidence that links Darian to the corpse?
The dagger used is a standard issue amongst the Grey Friars.
And you found that hidden away somewhere in...
We
Nice
found it
fortress?
in the deceased's chest.
Embedded.
So the guy sends a letter, signs it, to try and coax someone to his death, and then leaves the weapon
Here's
that is
where
clearly the
There's also
murder
the
weapon.
fact, Captain. We
in
feel like we could
his-
maybe we could potentially go further into this, as it doesn't all quite add up, but we might be able to get more information out of Darian.
It really doesn't add up, huh? I'm with you on that. That's too easy. It's too easy. If he kept an underground operation of necromantic artifacts going for weeks, if not months. And then he just blunders like this. Look at me, I killed a guy. Something's off about that.
Well, we are forgetting
Competition.
the she that he said that he was waiting for, right? Like, that's probably our person. We don't know who it is, but...
You found...
when we
said
talked
what?
to Darian, Duncan did a speaking with them from beyond the grave.
Delvin Rimple. That was Rimple who said that.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I spoke to Ripple, and he indicated that there was a she involved, though he did not use any names.
Mhm.
So a she killed him.
Or he was waiting for... Yeah.
Or he's bad with pronouns.
It's an option. Well, you have my full permission to investigate this further, now that this has turned from illegal trade into an actual murder case.
When you say investigate further,
Yeah, William.
I just,
I know, I saw
legally
your eyes light up there.
speaking, as guards, very important, diligent enforcers of the law, and, upstanding, top-notch, honorable citizens, are we allowed to set up a sting operation?
Sure, if you document it properly.
Okay. Please give those details to Dorcas, and I'm going to do some thinking.
You were all present at the one-day course of why taking a murder weapon and forcibly put it into someone's hand and then calling it a sting operation is not going to apply in court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah,
were
no,
there?
that's...
Yeah. We had so many problems with that. Like, just you can't just beat someone until they say, "Yeah, I did it." That's not how it works. You would be surprised how many guards try that.
Yeah, Dorcas, I told you that wouldn't work. But this other plan, super good.
Seething silently.
Yeah, whatever you need to do, as long as you document it, and as long as nobody else dies. I mean, unless it's the guy that did it. But
what does document it? Like, if I could say, And he just freezes up.
Is he gonna say something eventually?
Maybe?
Maybe let's not have him do the talking.
No. Morquez proved to be very valuable, but we generally leave Dorcas in charge before.
She offers you the whiskey flask.
It tastes like fish food.
A lot stronger than the fish food. This one is cask strength.
Extra strength fish food.
This is the protein bar among fish
Extra
food.
medicinal.
All right, what's the plan?
Plan is a strong word with this group.
What's the
We have
vague
a
idea
loose
that
collection
you're
of
eventually
ideas
gonna
of ways to proceed.
Well,
Illusions.
We can't. That's really strong. Darian seemed like someone who could do things, so we're thinking that we could, inquire him for his services, and then.
It sounds better. No, it sounds worse. It is better than it sounds.
Maybe the larger group of people who are involved could lead us to more information there because like Darian was like important man, and then like there were people connected to important.
All right, I'll leave that to you to figure out.
It's like a metaphor. We
Oh god.
found honey in the graveyard, and now we're trying to find all the sticky ants and follow them back to the beehive in the tree of deception.
She's now blinking a lot as she's staring at you. You're not sure if that's
I
an
am
improvement from staring at you without blinking at all.
I am a very good guard, Tallulah.
How about you go get another drink, Captain, and leave us the briefing room, and we'll figure out what it is that we're doing.
Best suggestion I've heard all day. See ya. And she leaves, smashes the door, and walks into her office.
I just realized something.
What's up, Mork?
So, they went to go look for the 2 people that are missing, and this was one of them, right?
Right?
Well, not this, the dead person. That means there's still the grandmother in there. Right? That's what that means,
Yes.
I think.
Maybe, yeah.
If we can find that body, that might lead us to more clues.
That's assuming that there's a body to find. I mean, for all we know, the grandma killed him. Mork,
is
the look in
fine.
your face
Nothing.
tells me you've never gotten in a knife fight with your grandmother before.
Mork. Yeah, that is strictly speaking true.
I thought so. It's alright. I think we'll get through this anyway.
I think potentially trying to request a necromantic item that would be difficult to get or would require someone going out into the graveyard and then covertly observing the process they go through would be best.
Is there any
I can do
particular
covert.
Is there any particular necromantic item that you would get from the body of a deceased grandmother?
I don't think we want to do that because if she is alive
But
and they
then
kill her,
when we could
do that,
follow
then
them
we
to
are-
the body.
then we would be responsible if she was alive.
We're
She's
only
not alive.
responsible if she gets killed because of us.
She's
I
already
think.
dead, right? Like that's like 70% true.
This feels like
I
reckless
mean-
endangerment.
Yeah, we're also technically responsible because we're in charge of investigating this case. So we're already
Right.
responsible whether we like it or not.
We are guards.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Okay. I like Mork's plan. I think oh wait, no, I have to be the one who sent. You know what? Actually, I only have to be the one who writes the note. I can use illusion to make myself look like somebody else and make somebody look like me? Maybe? No, that's too much. That's too much work for no reason.
Why don't you just have you look like you?
I
Yep.
don't think anyone else would agree to want to look like you. No offense, but like,
Ouch!
He's I don't know, he's kind of pretty.
Thank you, Mork. What if I look like me and Dorcas looks like nothing, and by that I mean she's invisible?
ooh, that'd be cool.
Like Dorcas spy.
But what would I do while I was
Do-do-do-do.
invisible? Oh.
I mean, whatever you
I
want. We can't see you, but also, follow him or her or whoever shows up.
I'm enjoying this plan. Yes. Okay.
So-
Okay.
So
We can get behind
let's take the concept and move it forward a few steps. Imagine we do the sting operation and we get our hands on Darren and we got the dirt.
Yep.
We can then the plan is then to use that to make him spill his guts and everyone connected to him and arrest all of them.
Zone of Truth. Start taking names down and file a report, and then celebrate with karaoke and pretzel feet.
Okay, what if all that doesn't help solve the murder part?
I mean, it's
One crime.
It is
you're
kind of
clouding
the
the
best.
plan with your facts, Mork, and I just
Sorry, so I'll just be quiet over here.
No, it's a good idea.
no,
I
it's-
think
yeah, yeah.
this is maybe the best lead to solving the murder case, but then if it doesn't solve the murder case, well, that's just another day's work, right? Like, we'll figure it out eventually.
We'll have gotten some potentially murderous, grave-robbing bone hawkers off the street, and that's
Oh.
what a guard does, I think.
I mean, maybe by the end of this week we can be like, well, we didn't never catch who killed the person, but we arrested a lot of illegal people.
Cleaning
That's
up the
where I'm
streets, one cadre at a time.
Look, as
that's
long
like a
as the
kite.
bones stay buried the way that they're supposed to, we will have
Except
done our
Jemima's.
job here.
Oh yeah, we gotta
What?
go bury up Jemima's grave too.
Yep. Oh, I have to make sure. Well, I don't know how this happens, but like downtime wise, late at night or something like that, I'm gonna write a letter to like a toy store and try and get some toys delivered to
Oh,
the
God.
guardhouse so that we can put them on Jemima's grave.
Oh, did we tell Tallulah about
No
the stamp
bombs.
order?
Yeah, I did in my report.
Okay.
I told
Do you
her that
think
they
she
would be
reads those?
expecting a very large order.
Wait, Tallulah reads those?
Well, I mean, yeah, why else do you think she's
Literally
always
her job.
talking about paperwork so much? That's why I always try my hardest to make sure that everything is as detailed as it possibly can be.
Dorcas, I'm going to stop you right there before Mark's head explodes. Nobody reads them, Mark. They are decorative. It's fine.
Okay. Mark looked like he
What?
was ready to like lurch for the stack and do something to it.
Decorative, purely decorative.
Okay.
Oh, uh,
Thanks, Will. That really settles my mind. I was like having this big ball of painful stress working its way up my esophagus into my face, but now it's just gone. It's just
I could
diffused
see
into
that.
smaller stresses inside me.
The orange started to fade away. I was getting a little bit worried. I figured I would let you know that real, very real truth about paperwork. Right, Dorcas?
Yep.
You
She
hear
definitely read
a
my
banging.
beautifully handwritten report.
Guys, I can still hear you.
Sorry, Captain. Let's go discuss a sting operation
Fuck off
elsewhere.
already.
Pardon me while I die of embarrassment in here.
Catch a killer, sting that operation. Just leave.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Okay.
Well then, let's make our way down back to the graveyard.
Well, first we have a quick, pretty ass paperwork montage.
As Tallulah sits in her office making little paper planes out of paperwork.
An executive produced by Nick Wolf.
You leave the written paperwork on the desk for her to read later and head back to the graveyard. Dido is still at the gate looking a little bit confused.
We didn't happen to pass that place on the way here, eh? What was it, Sal's?
The
What?
food place?
Oh,
Where I'm supposed to leave the
Sandy's.
note. Sandy's, that's it.
You-
I don't know
you
why I
can-
thought Sal's.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can stop by Sandy's if you want to. It's a lovely little pub. It's still very early in the morning in the day, so there's only like 2 barflies who basically live there. Sandy's is a very tall but huskily built human male. He's wiping a couple of glasses, as bartenders do stereotypically. But there's something else as you walk in. You hear a little bit of a scratching and a snoring from up the rafters. You look up and you see a tail, a purple red tail hanging from one of the wooden beams. Looks scaly. There's a burp coming from up there as well.
Is it a pseudo dragon?
No, not a pseudo dragon.
What is it?
You look
I feel like
up.
there
Can I
was-
make it?
Sorry? No. You look up and Sandy goes, "Oh, hello, 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 you're early." And as he shouts that from the rafters, you hear, "Ah, fuck! Not so loud. Please, not so loud, oh god." And the little dragon is rolling from the wooden beam, fluttering in the air. It's a very, very pot-bellied dragon. Smaller than a cat, about rat size. And tiny little wings keep it up in the air as it has a tiny dragon-sized cup in his paws. Oh, fuck, guests. So early. Yeah, welcome to Sandy's, where the music is live, and so are the people, even though our neighbors are not. Yay! There's a from nowhere. He has his own rim shot. "My name's Diageo. How can I help you?" Oh god. He smells rank.
Will's gonna like try to discreetly cast prestidigitation. If I could cast prestidigitation somewhat subtly, like just kind of like raise my hand to my mouth and like cough, and then as he does, like a little bit of like sparkle shoots out from the back end of the palm, and it's just like a little bit more of that air freshener stuff. Just here to leave a message for a friend, you know, on the low down, discreet like message, you know what I'm saying,
Discreet-like.
right?
My name's Discreet. No, it's Diageo. But I can be discreet. He's shouting as he says that. So fucking discreet. You've never seen anything so discreet.
I
Who
could
are
tell.
Your
you?
discretion is astounding.
What are we here for? Why? I'm awake. how much
I just
did I
want to
drink?
leave a letter for a friend, and if you can just see that this person gets it, that would be great. You know, I can maybe leave like a down payment, or is that maybe not what you handle?
No, you're paying me in pints to give the message to whoever. Just.
Do you take fish food? And I'm gonna like look over to Mork.
He's going into a rant about what did you take me for? What the I'm not a fish. I'm not a lizard. I'm not an
Morph pulls
amphibian. I
out the
heard this.
fish
So all
food.
these are slurs. Oh.
The name is a bit of a misnomer. Sorry. Are you a dragon?
Hello there. He slings around the bottle. That's good stuff.
Is that maybe worth, you know, taking special care to super duper make sure a letter gets to somebody it's supposed to?
I think we can work together.
Mark.
Excellent.
Leave the bottle and the letter. Tell me who to look out for. And I make sure your businesses are kept secret. Also, he turns around to Mork because you were asking what he is. Like, also, nice to meet you. Diageo,
Mark.
Alehouse Drake. At your service.
Mark.
More.
That's
I
Mork.
think he's stuck.
Oh, he's
You
fine.
slap
He's
him on the
just...
head.
Nope,
He
nope. Just let him
shakily-
process in his own time.
Just give him,
He
give him a
shakily
minute.
reaches out the fish food and like puts it on the table and knocks it over and sets it back up, right?
Oh, as you knock it over, Diageo's already at it and catching it and cradling the bottle. Fluttering up to the rafters, putting the bottle there. Alright, where's the letter?
You know what? Give me 30 seconds, and Will's just gonna like hastily rip a
30,
page out.
29, 28. 37.
And then very hastily he'll
36.
scrawl out, "I need the goods," if you know what I'm saying, and then draw like a couple of pictures of femurs. And then rather than sign it because he forgot what his code name was supposed to be, he's just gonna draw a couple of flowers with like really nice little smell icons around them.
And while Will is doing that, Mork pulls out the actual letter we prepared during the paperwork montage.
Right. Yeah, that's better.
There we go. So,
There you go.
any code name if anyone asks?
Mr. Important?
Yep, sure.
Yep.
Uh,
That works for me. No questions asked. No questions asked. I'm just the messenger.
it's going to Darian, and you'll know it's the right guy if he's got a little bit of a swagger. Okay, all right.
La.
I'm just confused as to how you're going to get the right person with the... You know what? You know your business, I know mine. I'm sure it'll be fine, right? Right?
Well,
And then he'll turn, look at everybody
if you have the
else.
code word, they ask. Never mind. If you have the code
Why
word,
did you...
they know what to...
Why did you pretend like you couldn't hear him? You started making those noises after he was done talking.
It's a social cue thing. It's confusing. I know.
Oh. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be
Mork.
sorry. But I think we're done here. Probably the longer we hang out in this place, the less likely that... You know what? I'm going to stop talking. We should just go.
Agreed. We should go. It's time.
I thought you were going to agree to me stop talking.
No, that's
No.
my job.
Oh.
Oh, a new challenger approaches.
It's just...
Mork.
It just turned into a handicap match.
Duncan's just sitting there, just being like, how has this place flown under the guard's radar for so long?
It hasn't necessarily... But, yeah. Everyone, whenever you hear people talk about Sandy's, there's this nostalgia. You would know that Sandy's been around for centuries, and the owner is always called Sandy. You haven't heard about the alehouse Drake, which is weird, because he's very present. But maybe a recent addition. You can ask Sandy, of course, but don't know what the plan is.
I spent a good portion of my life worrying about if the guard was going to catch us, and if the guard knew, and assuming the guard knew, and I apparently was concerned overly so.
Wait, you're telling me you weren't always a holy man?
Gonna catch you doing what exactly? What?
You have a life often before you end up turning to the Light Keeper.
I mean, not really. I got kicked out of demon slaying, but I didn't really have that much of a life.
No, it's just I apparently in my youth attributed more competence to the guard than I originally should have.
Oh, yeah, they hired
I was
me and
competent
Will.
or just caring. I don't know which.
I mean, that's kind of a good thing, though, now, right? Because, like, that means that the guard is better now that you're in it. Now that we're all in
Hopefully,
it,
that's the
working
general
together.
idea. Well, it seems we've baited our trap. Let's see if the prey falls into it.
Yep, nothing to do
Hopefully
now
it'll
but wait.
oblige us.
Yep.
So how are you waiting for this totally not entrapment to spring?
Well, we should probably set a watch somewhere inconspicuous. We should probably try not to look like ourselves. A little bit of food wouldn't go awry.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
can
not
make
saying
some of
sending
us.
someone on a taco run, but like, you know,
I'll go pick up some tacos. Be right back.
Ghost Pepper.
I can make some of us invisible, and I'm allowed to look like myself, right? Or should I not look like myself? What do you guys think here?
look like yourself.
Maybe. Yeah, you should look like yourself so he knows it's you, but maybe you like wear a cloak with a hood or something. Hide your face.
Okay, I can do that. I can do
I'll be invisible
that.
because otherwise I kind of really just stand out a lot in a room.
That seems fair. That seems very fair. Okay, yeah, let's do this. I'm just checking here, because is disguise self-concentration? It doesn't
It is
look
not.
like it.
It isn't.
That's fantastic.
No,
That
you're
is
fine.
absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I will burn a 3rd level spell slot to make Dorcas and Duncan invisible by way of invisibility. And then I will kind of sort of take a deep breath once I've winked them out of existence and run my hands over my face. And as I do, cast Disguise Self by way of my Magic Initiate and make myself look like a little bit more haggard, a little bit more necromancer-y, but still wizardly. My robe's kind of darkened in color. I've got like some like bone pendant or some nonsense. Very stereotypical depiction of what Will thinks a typical necromancer would look like.
That's fair. And Mark, are you just trying to blend in? Are you hiding, disguising as well?
Well, after I get the tacos, I'll
You get the tacos to come back to a room with nobody you recognize.
Will still looks like Will, right? Because that's what he talked to Darian looking like. Just a weird Will.
He just said he made himself look like a stereotypical necromancer. Are you changing and aging up and haggard and stuff like?
You know what? I'm not changing up, but it looks like I'm Will, who's now ready to go to like a My Chemical Romance concert. Like everything's just
That's what I was imagining.
like
Perfect.
whatever the necromancer equivalent of like eyeliner and like black lipstick and like you name it. It's just
It is
Will, but like
eyeliner and black lipstick.
gothed up. There you go.
I'm dead.
So you come back to 2 guards missing, and Will, as he looks around from his pint somewhere in the corner, looking very different. Very
Mark's eyes are
different.
trained on Will as you walk to the room, and gouges his hip on the corner of the table and spills wrapped tacos all over the table. It's we doing something different here.
What's the flashiest necromancer spell you know, Mark, that isn't gonna kill anybody, hurt anybody, explode, detonate, revive the dead, or I don't know, otherwise
I think you just
ghoulify
listed
somebody?
all the things necromancy does.
Okay. Okay. Really feeling the difference between our preferred schools of magic right now.
I'm an enchantment wizard.
Okay. Okay. Tell you what. Waggle your fingers around menacingly. Just do it. Just do it. And then Will's gonna try to like discreetly, like under the table, like wave his own hands around, and then cast minor illusion, making what looks like a translucent green skeleton appear like in front of Mork, and it like obeys his commands as he puppets it around.
This is adorable.
Ah.
Are we a puppet skeleton?
Yep.
Is that what
Yep.
I'm hearing? All right.
It
the
looks
puppet
like a-
skeleton-
Like a
Starts-
mid-90s boy band music video, but gother.
If I want to look like a
have-
necromancer, I have a trick I can do. You should worry
Alright.
about yourself. Should I look
Okay.
like not me?
You know what? I think you're fine to look like you. Just let me do the talking, and by that I mean all of it. Like
Okay,
all of
but
it.
like I have the symbol of the guard on my shield. Like that's okay.
Put that away. No, we don't want. No. That's gotta go.
Okay. And Mork is going to use an Arcana check to try to cast disguise self.
Yeah.
And it goes fine.
Good, because people now have started paying you for the show, as the skeleton is dancing, and this is, they think, busking, maybe? They're not quite
Will is
sure.
gonna ham this up so hard.
really
Oh my god, this
funny.
guy is so good. Look at how talented he is with his necromancy. I'm astounded. It's amazing that you can do that to bones. I am blown away.
So-
look at this
So
man.
Mork just looks at what Will did to make himself look spooky and does the same thing.
Okay,
Like
so
all
black
the same
lipstick,
aesthetic choices. Yes.
black
Good.
lipstick, and very pale, white cheeks,
Except
white
I've got
face.
I've got like Death Knight armor, and I still am orange under all that because I'm still a hobgoblin. That ain't changing. So
Nice.
the palette's all wrong.
Yeah, you do that. It's a great way of spending today, I guess. You have now Diageo playing up in the rafters some magical music, and you're not quite sure. Mark probably has never heard the song before. I'm not sure about William. When I was a young Drake, my father took me into the city to see a parting band. And the people are fully here
I
for it.
literally was posting that in chat right as you started doing it.
To join the Grey Friars. Bam, bam, bam.
You know,
I can't
actually,
believe
at
this
one
is
point I thought that
now.
song was about me, because you know, when I was a young Mork, my father did take me into the city, but then it stopped matching up. So I guess I probably should have been able to tell it wasn't about me.
I mean, that's fair. But I'm afraid to ask more questions because I feel like it's going to go down a path, you know, that I just look at how talented this guy is.
Yay! You've made at this point like a couple of silver coins are in that hat. It's not a hat.
They're in the taco stack.
Yes, let's make it the taco stack.
This is a very lucrative sting operation so far.
Diageo is now fluttering down. He's had a bit of the fish food, and is playing the music with you guys next to the dancing skeleton.
Well, were we supposed to wait here? Were they gonna meet us here? I don't know.
I mean, I thought we were gonna leave the letter and then come back later, but I mean, I don't know how to do this. I'm not gonna lie to you, Mark. This is my first sting operation on this side of
Whoa,
it.
me
You know what?
too.
Don't look into that.
You are also noticing. Actually, no. Maybe you're not noticing it because you went off the deep end here, and now the whole pub is partying. Make me a perception roll. Dorcas and Duncan with advantage, because I'm assuming you're the one that's not completely wrapped up in this.
They're invisible.
I will say I've been invisible, and I'll just be up in the loft where I have like a good view of what's going on. Oh.
Duncan's totally been picking through the tacos, getting his tacos.
I thought we were going to finish today. I've never been so wrong in my life.
Higher one there was
I got a natural
23.
20 for perception.
I have a 23.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely see it. You figure like, yeah, that's a nice little distraction. I'm impressed if they thought that up. That's totally the plan. When you hear, oh fuck, sorry. No, you don't hear. Oh
More.
fuck, sorry. When you hear the doorbell going, and you see someone slip in that seems familiar to you. It's the same guy, it's Darian. He's not making too much of a... He tries to slip into the shadows, basically. He notices something is going on there. Also, I can hear my echo, by the way. That's what keeps... if anyone has me open. But he slips into the shadows. He doesn't want to quite be a part of this mess and wants to check out what's happening. But you do notice him. William and Mark, you're still busy.
Well, Duncan's going to finish the taco he was eating. And
Sorry?
Duncan's going to finish the taco he was eating and then go give, like, Will, like, a double pat on the back. Just like a heads up sort of message.
Dorcas will just be writing down, at this time on this date, the suspect entered the building, etc.
Dorcas,
Delve
stenographer.
paperwork.
Yes. I'm still trying, y'all. I'm trying.
Dorcas just wants to be a good guard. I'm assuming I recognize or understand Duncan's little tip-off gesture. Or at least enough to kind of like look up and look around. I believe you're muted, DM.
Thank you. You had a talk earlier, let's just say it that way, because you didn't, and you probably wouldn't have, knowing this, but there's an easy way for you to recognize what she wants. Yes. You talked about signal and code.
Cool. So, am I able to see Dorian from where I am? Darian, I should say. Dorian.
Darian.
Darian. If do I see him? Yeah or no? Yay or
Yeah,
nay?
he's in
Okay, cool.
the shadows in the pub somewhere in a back corner watching you guys. And not quite sure. But he doesn't seem to be too suspicious. He's just sit down.
I think my favorite part about this necromancy spell is the way that you make the skeleton completely disappear, and then William will like drop the minor illusion. So cool. It's a shame that the spell components are so many valuable bones. Hopefully my contact pays off.
You see
Hope so,
him
too.
go pale as a sheet as you shout about contacts and bones incredibly loudly through the pub.
Is anybody
That's
else
loud,
as
to be
drunk as
fair.
I am, or is it just me?
And he gets up and leaves.
Fuck.
Following.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
He slips out the door, heads back towards the monastery.
As soon as the door closes, Will is assuming that invisible Dorcas and invisible Duncan are like hot on his trail. So as soon as the door closes, he's gonna like grab Mork and like try to lift him, even though Mork is taller than him. Just like Mork, we
And
gotta go.
wearing
Come
armor. Wait, what's happening?
on. It didn't work. But also maybe it did. I don't know. We have a lead to follow, and we gotta go now.
Where we need to go?
That way. And he's just gonna point towards the door.
All right.
I'm
And then-
following.
Do best to catch up, I guess.
You can easily catch up because he's walking normally. Duncan is after him as well, not that you see him, but he's just walking back to the monastery.
What to do here? What to do? What to do here? What to do? Crap. Okay, well, I don't have much other option. I'm gonna yell, "Hey, you!" And as I do that, I will be casting Friends on him.
Alright, he turns around. Is there a save against that?
For the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice. So, no save.
Alright. Yeah?
It's sorry, you know, drunk, little slippery with the mouth. You know how it is, but it's. I know.
Walks a little bit closer. Is that you, not?
It's.
Oh my god, I didn't recognize you under all that makeup.
I know, right? It adds or removes pounds and or years, depending on how you. Anyway, how's it going?
What the fuck, dude?
It's a long story.
Told you to be discreet about this. That's why we have the messages.
I was actually trying to not be discreet on purpose because I'm pretty sure there were guards in there. So I was trying to warn you. And I'm really glad that you were smart enough to catch on.
Oh, for fuck's sake, come in. And he sort of drags you along a back alley behind the pub, which, as you look around, that's the wall of the graveyard. And there's a little door that is, that's the cloister area. And he unlocks the door. Come in. Not out on the street, you idiot.
All right. Yeah, sorry. I'm one too many drinks, and I was afraid the guards would. Sorry. You lead. I'll follow.
Make me a. I think this. Yeah, it's again. You're lying, as you do. So the deception check with advantage.
Because it's charisma.
Because it's friends, yeah.
How long does friends last, out of curiosity?
I can check in just one moment. That's the first one. And the second one. So 17. And friends lasts for duration of... Wait, is this friends? Yeah, duration is 1 hour. Oh, that's charm person. I have the wrong spell clicked on.
Yeah, up to a minute.
Yes.
Oh no.
Which is, by the way, a concentration spell. So as you cast friends...
Ooh.
He's trying to drag you through
dear.
that door, looks around, and there's Dorcas and Duncan appearing.
Oh shit, the coppers, and Mork's gonna cast a spell.
What did you roll on your deception?
17.
17. Oh, fuck, you were right, they're here! And he takes off into the monastery and
Damn it.
bolts the door shut.
Can I get something? Can I get my spell off first?
Yes, what?
You better run after him, Will.
So, Mork goes, so give them blood, gallons of the stuff. Give them all they can drink, and it'll never be enough. And he's going to summon a shadow spirit in the doorway.
All right. What does the shadow spirit do? That's my normal speaking voice. I'm totally absolutely shocked at everything that happened today.
This is a shadow spirit of despair. It summons and then it does things like fighting things, but most importantly, it is a physical thing that ethers out of the shadow and blocks the doorway.
It is a physical. It's not a ghost, so you can't walk through it.
No, it's a creature. It fills its space.
Cool.
So you could try to
he's-
shove past it or something.
Yeah,
That
he's
doesn't
trying
change
to stumble back and close the door. There's the spirit. Let's see. Contested strength, I guess. He didn't quite notice it there.
Sure.
16 for him. What did you roll?
I need to open Fantasy Grounds because that's where these things happen.
Yeah. I know, there wasn't much rolling. There was a lot of...
Ah! Oh, actually, no. I'm just going to use my crit for that.
Brilliant. So 1 crit used. And he pushes into him. Shadow Spirit takes a step back, takes a step forward, and pushes him back out. He falls
the
flat
Shadow
on his
Spirit-
arse.
Also has an ability where anyone, when it's despair, anyone starts next to it has their speed reduced by 20.
Yeah,
Anyone?
that works.
Ooh.
That works. He falls flat on his arse and just goes, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Wait, it's cool. I'll talk to them. But
Run.
no, we'll be fine. We'll talk our way out of this. All we have to do is, a little snitching, and it'll be fine. Right, guards?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You better just cooperate with whatever we have to say and follow our instructions. And then maybe we'll let you live.
They got us.
It was his idea. It was his idea.
Gotcha.
It was all his idea. He's called not. He's not import. Oh, not imp. That's not his real name, I'm sure, but that's the code name he goes by in the underworld. He's like a big shot. He's a big guy. He's responsible for all the bones that are being taken out of the graveyard. Friends is over now, in case you didn't notice. He's instructed me to sell it to innocent students who didn't know better. I didn't know better. Nobody knew better. It's his idea.
It would be a shame if any of these guards knew Zone of Truth, because then we would be in some real trouble. Dorcas!
I'm going to cast Zone of Truth. But I'm going to shove William out of the way before I do it so that he doesn't get stuck inside of the Zone of Truth and be like, all right, Mr. Not Important. Better get ready to answer any questions that we have for you. Let me just look up.
You'll never take me alive, Cappers.
Well, you're out of the zone, so calm down. It needs to make a charisma save, and it has to beat a 13.
That's a
For
natural
he.
20.
The thing about Zone of Truth is the save is every round and it lasts 10 minutes, so we just wait like 40 seconds and he's got bound to fail one of them.
Especially if
Can
he's
I-
terrified by the spooky ghost.
If he's acting all like, oh, I'm never gonna crack, I'll never tell you nothing, I just want to take out my axe and kind of like knock him down just with the butt of it to try and scare him so that he has to tell me the truth. I'm not gonna hurt him, I just want him to be afraid because there's like a big 6-foot-tall orc lady with an axe towering over him.
There's also a shadow spirit of despair.
Yep.
As he's
Will's
trying to get
gonna
away
Try to like
from the
snap his fingers towards Duncan, and then like make a very minor illusion that says "good cop, bad cop" with a question mark at the end, and then try to like flash it towards Duncan.
Duncan will like just... All right, so assuming you don't want to get cleaved in half here, why don't you just start talking to us? And why don't we start with the parts that aren't total crap? Who are you actually working for?
I'm gonna roll another charisma save for this while this happened. Another round has begun.
What is this?
I'm sorry.
That's
Fantasy
2 nat
Grounds.
20s in a row.
Fantasy Grounds is almost that.
What? No.
I mean, you can
Well,
always
only
donate
98 saves left.
You can always
I was
donate a
at
crit
least
fail to the
hoping you would-
DM.
Scared. Oof.
So, I mean, you are being quite scary in your still goth makeup, which
Oh, I'm
I
not
hope
goth. I'm in. Well,
No,
I was
the other
invisible.
the other.
Oh, sorry.
I hope you've also seen the artwork has changed, but the shadow
You
thing.
just got it.
He had not seen that. He had not seen that. I knew it. The shadow thing is standing on one side, just glowering. As he tries to scuttle away from it, Dorcas just pushes the blunt end of her axe into his chest. You stay right there in the zone of truth. Like I said, it's his idea. Yeah, but you know he failed.
Yeah.
He passed the check, so he can lie.
Look, if you tell us that particular lie again, I'm going to let her feed you to this creature in the doorway. Who are you working for?
All right. I'm working for no one. I'm the only guy in this operation. I just made it sound a bit bigger.
What
And
happened
you
to
know
the
this
student?
is the truth. What student?
The one that we found with a dagger in him in your graveyard.
What? I don't know
Do I
nothing
believe
about a
that he-
student. He's
Do I
still
believe him?
under the spell.
Oh, so he's telling the truth?
Oh, so
Yeah.
did he fail?
So you
okay.
did not murder the young man who came into the graveyard?
Oh no, I never murdered no one!
Uh,
I just dig up
did
dead
you-
people. I didn't do any of the murdering.
And
Have
this
you ever
entire
Well,
bought-
who did then?
Have you ever bought this kind of paper in Mortal Minor Illusion, some of the fancy black paper?
breaking cover.
Well,
No.
I'm pretty sure I already knew on Mork when I summoned a spirit to
What?
block it from
Ah.
running.
This guy's a cop. He was lying.
I only. No, I don't buy the black paper. I buy the white ink to write messages on white paper. That's then just can be. If you put some ink over it, it gets visible. And you do remember that
Yep.
that Muriel said he bought white ink, but nothing of the black paper.
Well,
I didn't kill anyone. They killed me. You should get them. They tried to kill
They
me.
killed
They
you?
tried to threaten. That was me. They tried to threaten me if I wouldn't leave them alone. And they knew stuff. Like they were really specific.
Stop using
What
pronouns
kind of
and tell me who
thing
they are.
Did they know?
The weird old lady and the Iron Bull. Like she was so nice at the beginning.
Oh,
It was Waldy.
And this is where we end tonight's session.
Of course it would be.
Glad.
we are the worst
Glad-
guards ever.
You were so on track for the first 2 episodes, and I heard Nat saying maybe it was Waldy, and I'm like, oh, what was that, Nat? And then he was like, no, nothing. Like, fuck's sake.
I was saying this is a joke. It's the old woman who took whiskey as lunch. Like,
We are guards.
You are guards. Truly.
guards.
Truly
Perhaps
guards.
Duncan was not appreciating how difficult this job actually is.
Oh man,
I
I
was-
tried so hard to roll a good cop too.
And you just went with axe.
I was like, nope, Duncan's the good cop here, truly. Wow.
Lo and behold, none of us are good at this.
Oh my god.
Well,
Look, he's a good cop. He's just not good at being a cop.
that's
Fair.
actually very fair. No, you had good ideas. Just general execution was
Unorthodox.
a little bit interesting.
Yeah. Unconventional. But effective,
It's all the medicine.
ultimately.
I got to pull off the My Chemical Romance song to summon the Shadow Spirit. That was fun.
Yeah, you did.
That was pretty fucking
Just-
amazing.
That whole thing, that whole segment from meeting the audio onward was just like, this has become a thing
Madness.
unexpectedly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fundamentally
sneak out
changing
for ya.
what we thought possible.
we have a poll started in the chat for you get to vote who is the guard of the week. So it's vote. You can vote
Yeah.
for 0 for William. If you think that's the kind of stuff the guard wants to promote, or 1 would be me, but I'm just more. That's too much recognition. And then Dorcas,
More
who's just
prepared.
delightful and terrifying. And then Duncan, who actually kind of does the job approaching.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah,
guards.
that's a nice little summary there. That's if you've been watching from the beginning, the amulet with a revivify that Duncan got that came from this poll. So whoever wins the guard of the day, guard of the week, today will also get a crit, I believe, and a boon for the finale next week. Which I'm assuming now that you've put 2 and 2 and 3 and the occasional other number together, leading us back to a certain lovely old lady called Waldy.
Nah, next episode is Taco Fiesta.
That is also
Followed
not
by
Changa.
2 hours of karaoke.
Yes. Yes.
Oh boy.
And it's Mork who won. Bless his goth heart.
Oh no.
And Magic are our guards of the week. So you get your
Mork.
crit back, and I'm thinking up a boon narratively so for next week for our finale. Guys, if you want to quickly introduce yourself and say a little something, where we can find you, what projects you have coming up. Tom, let's start with you.
Well, you will find me here on Friday doing the Dark Astral one-shot that we're doing with Lydia as one of my players. She's going to be the Psychonaut. We're going to have, it's going to be a trying out Zweihander, the system they're running a test balloon of, which is essentially dark science fantasy set in space. It's kind of a mashup of Dune and Warhammer 40k and Firefly. At least that's what I'm doing with it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We will be here at Friday, and that is at 3 p.m. Eastern. Am I right on there?
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure.
think so. 8 p.m. BST.
Yep. So that's what's coming up for me. I'm not freaking out about it at all. Not at all.
Oh, no, not at all.
It'll
No,
be great.
no. It's totally not over preparing in the Discord DMs.
Definitely doing that.
Anna, what are you doing this week?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Nymeria941. Actually, tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. my time, which is Pacific, but noon U.S. Eastern time, I'm going to be on Reddit doing a panel about fantasy books over on the r/fantasy subreddit. So if you want to come ask me questions about fantasy books and what it's like being somebody that makes YouTube content about that, you can do that. And you can also find me on Fridays streaming with Chromatic Chimera. I play in their City of Mists game, Dead Winter.
Wonderful. And Jesse, where are you hanging out when you're not William and sabotaging the guard from the inside?
Helping from the inside is what I think you need to say. I'm generally on Twitter as @JesseNeon. On Sundays, I play in the Cobalt Press campaign, The Last Heir, which is tons of fun. And besides that, I'm generally working on all kinds of nonsense, including some DM's Guild releases, and I write books, including this beauty here, The Grave Robber's Sword, which you can find all over the place and order through your local bookstore because supporting small businesses is super important right now.
And our guard of the month, Nat, where are you to be found?
Just take this down from thanks. How'd you get my fish? Anyway, I'm Nat. You can find me on Twitter at CrimeNat, KREIM Nat. I do lots of TTRPG stuff. You can find everything I do on Twitter. I am a freelance layout designer and editor and game designer. Hire me. As for what I have going on May 11th, the group I'm part of called No Initiative, we actually originated here on Counter Roleplay on another show, and then when that show eventually ended, we just kind of took our little group and we love playing together. Let's keep doing this. And over on Chromatic Chimera, we're going to be starting a new campaign, Wildmount Daring and Divine, on the 11th, 6:30 Eastern time. That'll be session 1, so you can get in right at the beginning. And
Always
I'm excited.
good when you catch that first.
I'm playing a wizard, a redheaded wizard who that after finishing school went, what I really want in life is to dance. That's me.
Yeah. That's where you need the cricket sound. And I'm Lydia, Half Hour's Retirement on Twitter and Discord, where I'm mostly hanging out in Encounter Roleplay. And you can see me in a couple of one-shots as a player. Tom mentioned it, the Dark Astral one on Friday, and then next Monday as well, Spy Game, which is a 5e version, sort of modern setting. Think heist, think Ocean's 11, think your A-team. So basically, all the classes are your various modern, the hacker, the brains, the bronze, and so on and so forth. And it's really hilarious, and I'm super happy to try out something slightly more modern with the tried DnD 5e rules. Black Cats, Follow Black Cats is putting that out, and you should follow Black Cats. They do an amazing Game of Thrones themed stream on their Twitch channel, which Charlie is a part of as well. Most of you will have heard of After the Fire because they are screaming about it, she and Susie, every day on Twitter, making us all jealous, but it's really good stuff. You can, of course, find us here next week on Wednesday, but... Oh, sorry, next Friday is the Spy Game. The Monday is Star Trek. I'm sorry, Charlie. I should have written that down somewhere. I didn't. Next Monday is Star Trek, because that's the 4th. Star Wars! You made that mistake in chat! You started it! No, I'm not taking the blame for that.
Now I am you.
I should bring this to an end before this gets worse. But yes, thank you very much as well. If you're still with this Chaos Crew on YouTube, let us know which favorite Terry Pratchett book is the one you can't stop reading, because we talked a little bit about earlier in Green Room as well. And I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Have a look at all our sponsors, from World Anvil to Fantasy Grounds, Worm, and so on and so forth. And I'm gonna stop myself now. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Mark.
Kill me.